screens at the same time, so bear with me. But I just want to say good morning to everybody on this wonderful February morning. Welcome to the February edition of Check It Out. I see a lot of people in the chat that have entered. Welcome, and let's get started. Okay, what is our plan? Today we've got a big array of items to discuss today. We're going to cover story time, one story time standout. And for those of you that are new, you're like, what the heck is story time standouts? Simply put, story time standouts are books that are the best to use for story times. And I have one for you today, and I want to share a picture of a story time collection. I'll also share a selection, or actually one selection from second grade and third grade chapter books. Early readers, there were a lot of early readers this month that I wanted to throw in, so I have a couple of early readers for you. I'll also share some picture books and board books, children's nonfiction books. There were a couple this year or this month that you should have on your radar. Middle grade fiction picks, teen fiction, graphic novels, what I'm reading, and some upcoming CE announcements as well. And for those of you that don't know me or who are just new to youth librarianship or librarianship in general, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to you. My name is Janeé Jackson-Doering. I'm the youth services consultant with the State Library of Iowa. There's my contact info. You can reach me by phone or by email. A lot of people that have seen me when I come to visit their library, they know I bring a goodie bag of books with me. So please reach out if you have any questions about youth programming, teen programming, anything youth related in general. Just please reach out. I'd love to chat with you. And something that has brought me joy this month, actually this week, Friday is my birthday. So I dug up a photo of me, and that is me at 3 years old. I'm holding I believe it's Xavier. I think it's Xavier, the Cabbage Patch doll from when I was a kid. So yeah, people are saying adorable. Thank you. So yeah, that has brought me joy this week, just celebrating my birthday all week. It's not just a day for me, it's a week. It's a week-long experience, I tell my husband. So that has brought me joy this week, and I hope you guys find something that brings you joy this week or this month. So here we go. All right, we are going to move to our first selection, which is story time standouts. Simply put, the best books to use for story times. And I have one in particular this month. This one is called Mr. Norton's New Hat. And the illustrations are adorable. Look at that. The man, Mr. Norton, with his mustache and his derby hat and the cute little mouse. This is written by Hugh Lewis Jones, and illustrated by Corey Egbert. This is about Mr. Horace Norton. The story starts, one Monday morning, Horace Norton found that a mouse had made a house in his hat. Now this is something of a surprise, but Mr. Norton was a kind man, and he didn't want to disturb it. So he went to work all the same with a mouse, with a house in his hat. This is the pattern that you'll see once you pick up this book. This starts a wild week for the kind and calm Mr. Norton. With each passing day, he discovers more and more animals have moved in with him. So on Tuesday, he finds in his bicycle basket, squirrels, not to mention Wednesday morning, he finds squirrels that were sleeping in his shoe. Friday, he finds a collection of cats curled up in his coat. Soon, Mr. Norton realizes that these animals are taking over everything, his house, his bathroom, even his bed. And you can see on the right of your screen, the animals have decided just to make themselves at home, knitting and hanging out in his bed. And finally, he's so mad, he says, enough is enough. And the animals scurry off. And Mr. Norton realizes just how loud and lonely silence can be. and he realizes he's done a terrible thing sending them away. But after an act of kindness from the animals, he invites them all back into his home. This is a story that begs to be read aloud. The illustrations, as you can see, they're fun and they're silly. And this does a great job of using alliteration and the use of rhyming words. This is perfect for a preschool to second grade crowd. So grab Mr. Norton's new hat. In the last Check It Out, I had talked about building a story time collection and creating a story time collection. This is a picture of, at my previous library, what that story time collection could look like. For me, it was frustrating when you are looking for that perfect book, that book that you need for a story time, or when you're going out and doing outreach at a daycare or an elementary school, and you can't find that book in the picture book bins or on the shelf. We created our own story time collection. I had 3 shelves. I just took a picture of 2 of them just so you could see. But these books, I changed them in the catalog to Story Hour, and we labeled them with the pink stickers at the bottom that say Story Hour at the bottom. But for me, this was helpful, so that way I knew if I was reading a story about pizza, oh man, I can just pull that pizza book that I have off the shelf and go. Or if I was reading a book about bears, I can pull my book Bear Snores On, pull it, go and read it. So really, if you have not started your own storytime collection in the back of your shelves, wherever you're at, consider doing so. It saves you a lot of time. You're able to have those books available. You can plan your themes better. It's just all around a great resource. So that way you have those books there ready to go, ready to take with you to do story times wherever you go. Okay, we are going to move to our one selection for second and third grade chapter books. And this month is a very, very, very cute selection. This is called Wallace and Grace and the Mystery Egg. This is written by Heather Alexander and illustrated by Laura Zarin. And this is about 2 owls, Wallace and his friend Grace. They are partners in the Night Owl Detective Agency, and they always find a who done it. I kid you not, that's what it's said in the book. They always find a who done it. Super cute. I know it's kind of cheesy. I know, but it was super cute when I read it. Um, when their friends, which are robins, these 2 robins, Rita and Rafa, they find a white egg inside Rita's nest. But there's a problem. The robins, they have blue eggs, and they don't know where this white egg came from. So Wallace and his friend Grace are asked by Rafa and Rita to find who owns the mystery egg, and they need to do so right away. So the pair of owls write down clues in their detective notebook. Yes, these owls have a small, cute little detective notebook. And there's vocabulary words that are printed in italics in each chapter. The chapters are short, they're engaging, they're fun, and the colorful illustrations really add to the book. Um, the large print really helps readers comprehend the story, especially for those second graders who are moving into chapter books. This is a sweet addition for a children's fiction section, perfect for that second grade crowd. So grab Wallace and Grace and the Mystery Egg. I just wanted to see the comment real quick. Emily says, I keep a binder that lists books by theme so I can easily pull storytime books when I need them. That's a great idea. Thank you for sharing. Okay, we are going to move to early readers. And like I said, there are quite a bit of early readers this month. So I wanted to make sure these got on your radar. The first one is adorable. This is called Fox Fox, and More Fox. 3 stories. This is written and illustrated by Corey R. Tabor. If you don't know that name, Corey R. Tabor is the author that wrote Mel Fell. Love that book. Fox is so fun. And that fun-loving Fox is back in three stories, 3 beginning reader stories put into a picture book format. They're so cute. There's one story where Fox is late for a lunch, and he puts on a helmet and a skateboard, and he's doing kick flips over Rabbit. If you can see the picture that I put underneath here. He does the kick flips over Rabbit and a nose slide over Elephant, and he's riding under Bear's legs, and the animals are not happy that he's speeding on a skateboard. They yell, "Go, Fox, go." And where's this fox speeding to? This fox is speeding to the grocery store to get groceries. There's literally a scene in the book where he's just zooming with the groceries in his hand, in one hand, in one hand, and in the other hand, he's handing the money over to pay for them. And then he goes to the flowers and gets flowers in the field. In another story, Fox has a problem. The red kite is stuck in a tree. And guess what? This is not a new problem. When you turn the page, you see the fox, and the fox is looking up at the tree, and there's like 10 or 12 red kites all stuck in the tree. And how does Fox solve this problem? Easy. He brings a large windmill fan and blows them out of the tree and into the bear's cave. And then, since the bear is mad, Fox uses a large vacuum cleaner and he sucks the kites, the leaves, and the bear out of the cave. But Fox's vacuum grows so large that it knocks over Rabbit's mailbox. While this is a picture book format, the text is simple enough for beginning readers. There's 1 to 2 sentences on each spread. I love Tabor's illustrations. They're fun, they're full of movement, and this will definitely entice giggles out of parents and kids. This is a winner. So for your beginning or early reader or beginning reader section, grab Fox, Fox, and More Fox. Our next selection is called Dot the Ladybug, the Perfect Spot. This is written by Callie George and illustrated by Stephanie Pfizer Coleman. This is about Dot the Ladybug. Dot has a friend named Jots. So Dot's friend is Jots. Jots the mouse is looking for the perfect spot. But finding a spot is not as easy as it looks. When is a spot not a dot? When it's the perfect spot for a picnic. So Dot is on the case to help her friend Jots in this book, in this latest adventure of the Dot the Ladybug series. This book is awesome because I love the use of onomatopoeia, the repetition of sounds. It's mixing synonyms and homonyms, so kids can really learn words and learn and build their vocabulary. The illustrations are bright, they're colorful, very warm, very cheery. If you have fans of Elephant and Piggy and they need a read-alike or something different, this would be a perfect addition to give to them. So grab Dot the Ladybug, the Perfect Spot. Our next selection is Little Critter, Night Night, Sleep Tight. This is written and illustrated by Mercer Mayer, and Little Critter has been transformed into the I Can Read comics offerings. So in the beginning of the book, for those who are learning to read comic books or graphic novels, there's actually a section where the kids can learn how comics are read and understanding what panels are, which is very helpful. In Little Critter, Night Night, Sleep Tight, Little Critter and Little Sister are getting ready for bedtime. When Little Sister hears a strange sound in the night, it's a tap, 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 tap sound. The two are determined to find the source of the tap, tap sound. They put on their gear. If you could see on that second page there, I took pictures of it. Um, the little critter is waking up and he's recognizing the tap tap. And he says, "What's that?" And he says, "I'm going to find out." So he puts on his gear, investigative gear, with little sister, and they go to see what's happening. And they discover things that they think look like monsters in the dark. They turn out to be innocent things, such as a dog that's hiding under the blanket. They think it's a monster. It's actually the dog. Or the cat in the laundry basket, which they don't know what's moving underneath that basket. They follow the sound down the stairs and up the stairs, only to find that what was creating the tap tap sound was a baby bird stuck in the attic, and they were tapping on the window pane and they're wanting to be released. Simple sentences, again, very simple, basic sentences for kids to read and comprehend. Simple story, fun illustrations. This is a winner for bedtime. Grab Little Critter Night Night Sleep Tight. Okay, we are going to move now and shift gears to picture books and board books. Here we go. Our first selection is called How to Make a Bedtime. This is written by Meg McKinley and illustrated by Karen Blair. These illustrations in this book are as warm as a cozy blanket. If you are needing selections for bedtime books, when you have a caregiver that says, "Hey, I really need a new bedtime book," hand them this book. The child is asking the bear, how do they make a bedtime? What happens? And this cuddly parental bear is guiding this young child through their bonding bedtime routine. So the bear gives the child a sloshy bath. The bear gives the child soft pajamas to snuggle in. The bear sings a song to the child. The bear gives a huggly, this is the text, a huggly hug, which I thought that was super cute, before story time. And then it's bedtime, and then the bear goes down to have his bedtime. The illustrations are cozy. The wording, the vocabulary is great. Again, sloshy, building sloshy, huggly, just different ways of building vocabulary for kids. This is a cozy winner for bedtime. We have some series alerts also this month for Check It Out. I just got this series alert a couple days ago because I get press releases. This is called Little Blue Truck and Racer Red. If you're fans of the Little Blue Truck series, this is the newest one that's going to come out on March 25th. This is written by Alice Schertle and illustrated by Jill McMurray. And in this edition, Little Blue Truck and his good friend Toad are out for a drive when a flash of red whizzes by and then whizzes back to stop and say hi. Racer Red is sleek in a low driving car, and it's made for speed, and Racer Red loves to go fast. And when Racer Red, which is a girl, she challenges Blue to a race, Blue knows that it's either win or lose. It's fun to try. So if you have kids that love cars and trucks, or if you have a cars, trucks, and trains picture book section in your picture book collection, grab Little Blue Truck and Racer Red for those Little Blue Truck fans. Okay, this is a new series. It's called the Your Places series. This is a board book set written and illustrated by John Klassen. Each the board books received a starred review in Publishers Weekly, and these are very unique board books. Um, each each book is a place, and it's so unique because it's a white background, but Klassen's illustrations are so simple and so engaging that you're just kind of drawn to what's happening in the story. Each place has simple sentences in the book. There's a rhythm to each book with interactive language. There's repeating words, and it gives kids a place to envision themselves, and it encourages them to return to the place wherever they like or whenever they like. So I have your island here. I don't know if you guys can, I'm going to try to hold it up here just like this. But to give you an idea of what it says, woo, if I can grab it, I might just read it. Um, this is your sun. It is coming up for you. This is your palm tree. It can go over by the sun. These are your plants. They can go on the ground. This is your tent. It can go under the tree by the plants. This is your life. It is a or excuse me, this is your fire. It is a magic fire. It will never go out. This is your boat. It can go in the water. Always remember to tie it up. And this is your bird. He flies away sometimes, but he always comes back. This is your island. Now it is done. Now the sun is going back down. Now everyone is closing their eyes. Now your island is asleep. Now you can sleep too and think about what you will do there tomorrow. And at the end of the story, all the items in the book are sleeping. So it has that format where Klassen is introducing each item and how it becomes part of the book. And they all have their they all have eyes. They don't have a nose or a mouth or anything, but they all have that signature John Klassen look of the eyes. And the eyes are very expressive. I love that he makes eyes so expressive in his books. Um, but it's so cool how he adds each item to make the place a place. So this is your island, there's your farm, and there's also your forest. Super calming, engaging stories to show kids what makes that place a place. So if you get a chance, pick up your island, your forest, your farm. This is another board book. This is called Hello You Love Grows. This is written by Jackie McCann and illustrated by Sandra E. And this has mirrors and cut through pages so that way babies can turn the pages and see themselves reflected for fun. And it's great for imaginative play, but basically it's talking about love and how love grows. And the text says, love grows when we play. It's you and me together. And it shows all the ways love grows for babies and children. A lot of people, especially parents, a lot of people don't know that babies like to look at themselves in the mirror and they love to look at other pictures of other babies. So if you have a baby story time, this would be great for a baby rhyme time. You could have it for your story time. Like if you just have books in an area for people to check out, this would be a nice addition to hand to a caregiver for their baby. Okay, we're going to switch gears again. And now we're going to move to children's nonfiction. And Emily says, I want my hat back. Yes, that is a good one. I want my hat back. Here we go. Okay, so I have a couple of nonfiction selections this month. The first one, if you host a Lego club or any type of Lego program, if you have a Lego section in your children's nonfiction section and you need some newer Lego books, DK has published Lego How to Build Everything. This is written by Hannah Dolan, and the models are created by Jessica Farrell and Nate Diaz. So for your Lego enthusiasts, you want to grab this book. This book has over 200 Lego ideas for building. The ideas are organized into 5 chapters. So they have houses, how to build animals, how to build cars, dinosaurs, and robots. In the front of the book, there's a how to begin section, and it does point out and I want to be specifically clear on this. It does point out that for all of the models in the book, the kids don't have to copy the model brick by brick. I know some kids are very particular and they're like, I need this brick. I need this brick to make this giraffe look good, or I need this particular brick. I love that the author says that the kids don't have to copy the model brick by brick, because you may not have all the bricks anyway, and that is okay. And I think that's important for kids to hear that. And plus, it develops their creativity. I mean, if you don't have the bricks, that's okay. You can build it a different way. Um, each model is broken down into different parts step by step. From building a bunny, you can build a driverless car. There's all different kinds of ways the kids can build and all different types of things that the kids can build. I wanted to show two pages just to give you an example of what is shown. At the top of each model, or at the top of each page, there's a skill level. So it'll say like one Lego easy. I believe it's 3 Legos, then it's hard. Yes, 1 brick for easy, 2 bricks, it's medium, 3 bricks, it's hard or advanced. This is a solid addition for your Lego nonfiction section. And at the back, there's an extra bits and piece section at the back of the book as well. If you've got Pokemon fans and if you have a Pokemon club at your library, and I've heard from several libraries that they have some type of Pokemon activity, whether it's Pokemon Bingo or Pokemon Club. You want to grab the newest edition for Pokemon. This is Pokemon Legendary and Mythical Guidebook, the deluxe updated edition. This is coming out on April 1st, and this is from Scholastic. With this edition, this basically gives kids info about legendary and mythical Pokemon from every region in the Pokemon universe. And it has different rare and powerfully known Pokemon. There is a poster inside the book, so heads up, when you order this, make sure you take that poster out, because if you don't, I can see kids just read it and then they rip the book. Just a tip for you. This is a revised and updated edition of the guidebook. I wanted to show a picture, but at the left side of your screen, there's an example of what the inside of the book looks like. It has the name of the Pokemon and some facts about each Pokemon. So grab Pokemon Legendary and Mythical Guidebook. And it looks like, and Alexandra says, I love encouraging creativity and customizing based on what the kids have at hand. Absolutely. It's great to do that. If you're looking to update your books about presidents and making sure that you have current up-to-date information, grab the National Geographic, Our Country's Presidents, a complete encyclopedia of the U.S. presidency. This is by the writers of National Geographic. Kids, they did a fantastic job with the layout of this book. It does cover all the presidents, including the 2024 election. Each spread has the president, so you have the presidential photo. I wanted to take a picture of John F. Kennedy just to show you guys. So it has the actual presidential portrait of that president. Then it has information about the president. And on the right of your screen, each president has a sidebar. So there's a yellow sidebar that has a signature. There's facts about each president. And it also talks about the history behind that president. So what was happening during World War I or World War II or the Civil War, leading all the way up to present day. It has such great information. It has the index in the back of the book. There's a reference section for different references. So if they need other resources, there's different references that they can use as well. And let's see, Joni says, is it okay to have president books without the last few, or should they be current? Also, first ladies. That's a wonderful question. Um, if you see that your collection is lacking books that don't have the most current presidents, I would suggest or purchasing some so that way your kids have access to those materials. Um, First lady books, those could be part of your biography section. Maybe you grab some books about first ladies, current current or past, excuse me. Um, so I would definitely pick up some if your section is lacking. So definitely look at your biography section. Look at your section with presidents. See if you need to update those with current materials. But this would fit the bill. This was well done. I loved the layout. I loved how they talked about other parts of history that president at that time was facing. So this was well done. Definitely grab our country's presidents. The next book I adored also. This is called Becoming Real: The True Story of the Velveteen Rabbit. I loved The Velveteen Rabbit growing up as a kid, and I remember reading that book. So this was a fun title for me to read. This was written by Molly Golden and illustrated by Paula Escobar. This is a chronicle in a picture book format, it's a nonfiction biography about how Marjorie Williams was inspired to write The Velveteen Rabbit. The book, through pictures, talks about how Marjorie grew up in London. As a child, her father encouraged her to write stories and play with paper dolls and make paper dolls and develop her creativity. After her father died, she moved to New York, where she into her adulthood. She wrote more and married and raised a family and developed their creativity and wrote the story of the Velveteen Rabbit. This is beautifully illustrated. It was nice to learn more about how Marjorie came up with the story of the Velveteen Rabbit. Beautiful illustrations, and it was told in a very simple format. So grab Becoming Real: The True Story of the Velveteen Rabbit. Okay, we are going to move to middle grade fiction. Here we go. The first book is called All the Blues in the Sky. This is written by Renee Watson, and this received starred reviews in School Library Journal in Kirkus. This is a novel in verse, so it's told through poems, and it's about Sage. Sage is a 13-year-old Black girl living in New York City. But Sage is sad. She's sad because her best friend Angel will not be the same age as her. Her friend Angel was killed in a hit and run accident on her way to Sage's birthday party. And when Sage finds out, Sage is filled with raw grief. She is distraught. Her great aunt and her new friends are trying to cheer her up, but her emotions are pretty raw. They are so raw, and she's overcome with grief that she attends a counseling group to help her cope with her grief of the death of her friend. And her new friends from the counseling group, they show her that not all experiences with death will look the same, and healing from someone's death is not uniform or linear. It will take some time. This book tackles coping with death, first loves, new friendships. So grab your tissues because this one will make you cry. So make sure you grab All the Blues in the Sky. And I have another series alert. I got this series alert last week or 2 weeks ago. I raved last year about the first book of Impossible Creatures by Catherine Rundle. And they are creating a second book. So put this in your tickler file for later on down the road, but I wanted to make sure you guys knew about it. It's called Impossible Creatures, Book 2, The Poison King. This is about Christopher Forrester. In the last book, he survived with his friend, but his friend had passed away. In this book, Christopher Forrester woke to find a dragon chewing on his face, and he is excited. He's been dreaming of going back to the archipelago, which is the secret cluster of islands where all the creatures of myth still live and where he was summoned. But in this book, there is a poison spreading in the archipelago. Rooting it out will involve a rescue mission on the back of a sphinx, a stealthy entrance to a dragon's lair, and a death-defying plan to save a prisoner held in the heart of a castle. At the center of this is a girl named Aneth, a small girl with a flock of birds at her side, a new hatched chick in her pocket, and a ravenous hunger for justice. I I can't wait. I'm excited. I know it's early for ordering season, but what I would do, put it in a tickler file, I like to keep a list of books to order in the future. So I would have a list of the name, the title, the author, and the ISBN number. But I wanted to make sure this got in your radar. So grab Impossible Creatures, The Poison King, Book 2. This will be released September 11th. Okay, we are going to move to teen fiction. Here we go. Amy says tickler file. Yes, I keep a tickler file of all like books that I wanted to order. At my previous library, I did that because of budgeting. Because when that budget hits, like June 30th was like we had to wait for the next round of money to order books. So I would keep a tickler file of books I wanted to order in the future, so that way I remembered to order that book once we had our new pot of money for ordering. So that's what I mean by tickler file. Our first team selection is called Where the Heart Should Be. This is written by Sarah Crossan, and this is a historical romance and another novel in verse. This received starred reviews in Kirkus and Booklist. This is set in 1846 Ireland, and this focuses around Nell. Nell is working as a scullery maid in the kitchen of the big house. Nell's family has no money, they're really destitute. And she loves books and she loves school. But right now, there's not much choice for her to do that because she's got to work and make sure that the land that they are tending grows food. Now she's scrubbing. Oops, I got to the different one. Now she's scrubbing and peeling and washing and sweeping for Sir Philip Wickham, the man that owns her home and her family's land, the crops, and he owns everything. And the dogs in this house are always well fed, but upstairs in the big house where Nell is forbidden to enter, she meets Johnny Brownie, the newly arrived teen from England, and he's the young nephew from Sir Philip who will one day inherit the house. And as famine and illness spread, a spark starts to grow between Nell and John, and the two begin an illicit romance. This book explores social and economic injustices. I love the poetry. Poetry just grabs me. And if you have teens that are looking for a romance novel that is told in poetry, recommend Where the Heart Should Be. The next book that I have, and I'm sorry I had accidentally went to this slide and not the other slide, so bear with me, pardon me. The next book that I have is also a novel in verse, and this is called Skin. This is written by E.B. Zaboy, and this received multiple starred reviews in Booklist, Kirkus, Hornbook, Publishers Weekly, Book Page, Bulletin for the Center for Children's Books, and School Library Journal. This is a fantasy-based novel in verse where during each new moon, two teen girls, they shift into a fireball witch or a sequoiant. And what a sequoiant is they shed their skin and they become a fireball and they consume souls or the life force out of human beings by the light of a new moon. And this book takes place in modern day Brooklyn. The two teens are Marisol and Genevieve. Marisol is 15 years old. She immigrated from the Caribbean to New York with her mother Lourdes to make a better life. But Marisol is tired of being a monster. She's tired of living in the shadows. She doesn't like transforming into this thing. And she wants to be like other teens. And she wishes she could have a different life. Because right now, her and her mother have a kind of a destitute apartment, and they work for this baker who's pretty much kind of a scum. He's just a jerk. And Marisol goes to his room one night and takes and sucks his life force out of him, not to kill him, but enough to say, hey, stop messing with my parents, stop messing with my mom. Then you have 17-year-old Genevieve. Genevieve is biracial. She has a white father, and her father has remarried, and they have twins, a boy and a girl. But she knows she's different, and she wants to know why her skin feels like it's on fire. It's so painful that she has to go outside and at night just kind of like be in the cool air. That is how powerful her skin is. While her father is white, he hardly talks about her mother, and she wants to know where she came from. When Marisol's mom, Lourdes, comes to Genevieve's family to be a nanny to her twin siblings, Genevieve starts to uncover a hidden connection to her absent mother, to her cultural roots, and somehow she's connected to Marisol. The poetry in this book is solid. It's very vivid. It is deeply rooted in Caribbean folklore. It is very creative. It's heart-pounding. It does start slow. I will say that. It starts slow, and I was kind of like, okay, where is this going? And then it starts to pick up, and then you're along for the ride. Well done book. Grab Skin by E.B. Zaboy. Okay, we are going to move to graphic novels. I have another series for alert for you. This is called Magic Treehouse Fact Tracker Dinosaurs. This is written by Mary Pope Osborne and illustrated by Jomike Tejido. This received a starred review in School Library Journal. And this book will have different questions answered about dinosaurs for kids, thanks to Jack and Annie. Kids can learn for the first time in the graphic novel format about where the dinosaurs came from. What did they look like? How did they survive? What's the difference between flesh eaters and plant eaters? And of course, how did the dinosaurs die? There's colorful illustrations. Since the graphic novel format is so popular, this is geared for ages 7 to 10. If you have fans of Magic Treehouse or fans of dinosaurs, you will have some winners. You will have some kids who are very excited to pick up this book, and this comes out on April 1st. The next dinosaur selection, I must have been crazy about dinosaurs this month. The next dinosaur selection is called Dino Poet. This is a graphic novel from Tom Engelberger. That name should ring a bell because Tom Engelberger is the author of the Origami Yoda series. This will be released March 25th, and this is about Dino Poet. Dino Poet wants to write the first greatest poem ever. And the other thing about you need to know about Dino Poet, Dino likes to eat frogs. And the frog in this story, their mission is to not get eaten by Dino Poet. But when Frog tells Dino, after reading his poem to the frog, that his poem kind of stinks, Dino waits to eat him. He waits to eat him because the two band together and they set off into the wild world chasing poems until they meet an angry T-Rex. This is a funny, cute graphic novel for kids. It celebrates poems and limericks, and it's shown through the world of dinosaurs. So grab Dino Poet for your kids' graphic novel section. More series alerts. Man, I just had a lot of series alerts. These got just announced, so I wanted to make sure these are on your radar. To your left is the latest Babysitter Club book. It is the Babysitter's Club, Mallory and the Trouble with Twins. That is book 17, and this one is written and illustrated by Arlie Nopra. This will be coming out next week, March 4th. And the summary is, for Mallory, Christy offers her a steady job babysitting for the Arnold twins. And Mallory thinks it's going to be easy money, no problem. The twins are sure cute in their matching outfits, but once Mrs. Arnold leaves, the twins, Marilyn and Carolyn, they turn into twin terrors. They trick Mallory so much that she can't tell them apart. So taking care of Marilyn and Carolyn is a babysitting nightmare. But Mallory, just like a Babysitter Club member, Mallory is determined not to give up. If you have fans of this series, you definitely want to grab this for your graphic novel section. To your right is the latest installment from Aaron Blabey. Aaron Blabey is the author of the Bad Guys series, and he created the Cat on the Run series. This is called Cat on the Run in Hidden Layers. And this is book 3 of the series, written by Aaron Blabey, and this will be released May 6th. The synopsis on the book is really tight-lipped on this, which I was kind of shocked. But it says that it's just another latest installment of the princess and of this cat and what diabolical plan she goes through next. So I would like to see more about Cat on the Run. But I wanted to get these on your radar because these are popular with kiddos. And I hope you guys are able to get these on your radar too. The next book on my list is called Very Bad at Math. This is a middle school graphic novel. It's written and illustrated by Hope Larson. This received a star review in School Library Journal, and it's a Junior Library Guild selection. I loved this book. This is a read-alike similar to Shannon Hale, like the Real Friends series or Raina Telgemeyer's Smile. This would be a great read-alike for that. It's about Verity. Verity can do it all. She's the student body president, the debate club whiz, and a clarinetist. She can do anything except for math. She's just not good at math. It doesn't make sense to her. It doesn't make sense in her brain. But she's got to figure out how to get her grades up, because if she doesn't get her grades up, the principal told her that she has to kiss her student class presidency goodbye. So Verity, she enrolls herself in a remedial math class, and the teacher's helping her learn. And Verity discovers through the teacher that she has dyscalculia, which is a learning disability that causes her to mix up numbers. But she's confident that her math struggles will remain secret. But Nate, the 8th grader who's the gossipy podcaster, he is determined to figure out why is she going into this secret math class. And so he's dismantling this perfect image of Verity. And so Verity has to choose between being student class president or sticking up for herself and coming out with her disability. The characters are very relatable. This was fun, funny, engaging, and great for middle schoolers to read, especially about dyscalculia. Next one is Oasis. This is written and illustrated by Zhuo Jing. This received star reviews in Publishers Weekly, Booklist, Kirkus, Shelf Awareness, and the Bulletin Center for Children's Books. This is about Gigi. Gigi cares for her youngest brother, Didi, in a bleak part of the world. This is a futuristic kind of dystopian type of novel. There's no sand, there's no water, and their mother left them in a small home to work in Oasis City, which is a nearby town where there's jobs, clean water, and prosperity. She works tirelessly each day to earn their admission back into Oasis City. And each day the kids travel to a payphone and to speak to their mom. When their mom doesn't call on Dee Dee's birthday, the kids find Oasis. It's the first AI-powered test model robot, and it's lying dormant in an abandoned wasteland. So the kids start the robot up. They call her AI Mom, and she protects them. She protects them from sandstorms. She cooks them noodles and dumplings and does all the things the mom should do. Meanwhile, the mom is working in the factory and assembling robots, and it's interesting because she and the other robots are working as hard as a robot. The images of the workers in the factory reminded me of the old film Metropolis. And so mom is wondering, what is up with my kids? So she goes home and she finds this AI robot. And it talks about what happens when the real mom travels back to this desolate city to find her kids. And that there's just this conflict between her and the robot. But I think it's a timely sci-fi exploration of how far AI technology can go, and it explores themes of family and a mother's love. This book will tug at your heartstrings. Really quickly, I'm going to go over what I'm reading. So the book to your left is called A Wolf Called Fire. This is book 2. It's a companion to A Wolf Called Wander by Roseanne Perry. And it's about Worm. Worm is a part of a wolf pack. He's a runt with siblings that are more adept, and he's very hesitant until he has to take care of a pack of pups after enemy wolves drive his family in separate directions. So Worm has to save the pups and return them to their home. That is the first book I'm reading. The second book I just picked up, it's called Under the Fading Sky. This was given to me as an ARC, written by Cynthia Kadohata. And the premise is just very, very simple. And I'm still kind of wondering where it's going to go. This is a teen novel, but the premise is a teen boy thinks his vaping habit is harmless until it becomes a crippling addiction, of nightmarish dimensions. So I'm kind of curious to see how that goes. The third book to your right is called No Purchase Necessary. This received star reviews in School Library Journal, Kirkus, Booklist, and Bookpage. This is written by Mariana Yam. I'm sorry, I hope I said that right. But this is about a young man named AJ. AJ is obsessed with his grades. He starts 8th grade at a new school, and he's determined to change until he receives a low grade on his English assignment. And his parents' rules state that he can only get straight A's. So in a panic of disappointing them, he lies. Things spiral more out of control when he tries to impress the cool kid at school by stealing a chocolate bar. And the chocolate bar that he stole has $1 million prize inside. AJ worries about the consequences of stealing, so he starts working part-time for the store owner, his name is Scary Al, to wipe away any evidence and guilt that he stole something. This covers themes of identity and morality and deciding whether to claim something that could change his family's life forever. So those are the 3 books that I am exploring this month. Really quickly, if you have not had a chance, sign up for School Library Journal's newsletters. I put the link there. If you're looking for more teen or tween selections, they will email you a list of different types of articles to read that have different teen and tween selections. But to that picture to your left, if you go to schoollibraryjournal.com to the link, and go to SLJ newsletters, you can choose what kind of newsletters to get. There's extra helping. I'm subscribed to that, and I subscribe to SLJ B Teen. They also have, for adult librarians, you can also subscribe to Library Journals reviews for adult reviews. And Hornbook. Hornbook is good for children and teen. So definitely take a peek and take advantage of signing up for those newsletters because that will help you in your collection development and also help you in placing where books should go. Another source I wanted to share with you is the Youth Services Book Review. This website is awesome. They provide reviews that help librarians, and it's mostly based in Massachusetts, but they provide reviews that help Massachusetts librarians select diverse books. It's open to anyone to read. They have over 40 volunteer reviewers from both public and school libraries that offer reviews, and they look at books from over 200 publishers. I just wanted to show you a picture. So, for example, they've got a review about Johnny and the Sea. Looks like this is their review. They rate the books, 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. They recommend who should buy the book, whether it's a public library or a school library. They also recommend where to place the books, whether it's a picture book, a beginning reader, a teen section, a tween section. So definitely check out this website, Youth Services Book Review. They are fantastic. Also, make sure you put your name, your first and last name, and what library you're from in the chat because I will pick 4 winners to receive a Check It Out book prize pack. These are the December winners. These are the January winners. I wanted to make sure that everyone got recognized for winning. So all packs will be sent to your library via Iowa Shares. So make sure you put your first and last names in the chat. Also, April, you want to get this on your calendar. April for Pop YS Live, we will have Volunteens, making the most of teen engagement at your library. That webinar will be April 9th from 1 to 2 p.m. You can register in Workday Learning. Why did I put in Workday Learning? I'm sorry about that. But you can learn about how to work with teens who are volunteering at your library. What's the criteria for them to volunteer? How do you give them an orientation? What kind of tasks teens can do as a teen volunteer? We'll cover all of that in that webinar. Also, thank you to the person who suggested a summer reading book list webinar. We are going to do that on April 24th from 10 to 11 a.m. It is called Level Up Your Summer Reading Book List for All Ages. So Samantha Bowers and I will talk about the books to have for book displays, program ideas that you can use for summer reading. So we'll cover all the books in the bibliography in the resource guide and talk about different display ideas you can use for your Level Up at your library theme for summer reading. So sign up on Workday Learning on April 24th, 10 to 11 a.m. Next week, if you have not signed up, please sign up for the STEM fairs and summer reading summits. I will be driving all next week to visit your district. So please make sure you sign up because next week it's going to be fun. And March, there will be no March Check It Out or no March Pop YS Live due to the STEM fairs and summer reading summits. So just a heads up. Check it out will return on April 22nd from 10 to 8, or excuse me, from 11 a.m. to noon. And that is all that I have. Woo, I squeezed that in. I'm glad I squeezed it in when I did. So, and I see a whole bunch of thank yous. So I'm so happy that you guys find this helpful. I hope you found some resources in here that were helpful for you today as well. You're on mute. Amanda's on mute.
Heavens. But thank you for great info, tons of books to look forward to coming up, and lots of ways to see you in person. So hopefully everyone will get out and come visit Janeé and get going.
Yes. Hopefully I will see you hopefully on the road. So don't forget to register for STEM Fair and Summer Reading Summit. We'll see you soon. Thanks everybody.